Assalamu alaikum badingolu ngali konton ka bali Atlantic TV alla favorite Bitilo kachala ali tenengo teneng kabo talantan nen kelen kata talantan nen fulakan anal badi malam Fatoumata Mbaye jane be dina kacha kono drong as usual comme ka fa nyamen drong programme ni mbas sponsor ni kangala pour kaje ko aseke programme yuru warinti aseke programme sabaterinti of course aseke hakilta dulati bawo banko ko wala kacha aseke dulati dame yalon fana be tentendir kala kendol nim furi wala ba furngol faylam bem famuna fanna kendola woto kamala dum bin luntanga momenti danaka because always ngafo ninko luntanga wala moti me yalo ngama lu soto plato but always ngamen soto yang gambian lam so I guess ko gambian lu tel manke luntanti nyim fana nak ate fana mu foninki wolde me yalo ko abe gambia banko kan janne wolam jumati wolam honorable Bayo Alhagie secretary general for the GAP, that is the Gambia Action Party, right? Mr. Bayo, welcome to Atlantic TV and welcome to my platform for the first time.
Thank you.
All right, viewers only in your content follow, then we get into the program proper.
Yo, mbafala bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Mbe badingol bel konton na mini alonko being programo follow kan wato wati anu mele fana la time ota pour ka programo sembia mbe mobe konton na bena secretary general kontona menketa honorable Musa Usinu Yali Bacheliti ani party normal ankol ani political space mbe president Adama Barrow fana kontona katu atilo mu bankola president oti mbati konton ani NPP onkol be ani momo me alonko fana abidu kola Atlantic TV mbe mobe konton.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bayo. Like I said, welcome to Atlantic TV, and we are so much grateful to have you here for the first time. Bitilo kachaji benka banku wala kachaji. So, but before boduna kachakono, we want to know who is Bayo Alhagie. Some people might be seeing you on the screen, but they don't actually know who is Bayo Alhagie.
Yes.
Give us a brief biography of yourself.
Yes. Bayo Alhagie is a youth that looked into or dives into the aspect of politics.
Okay.
Because I believe that the things that actually governs this states are issues that I need to get into. Okay. Because I cannot just sit and then allow people to take decisions on my behalf. And because this is what people all usually advocate, that the youths and women are behind. You know, as a result, you realize that we need to get into things. Okay, we need to get into things, especially the politics. We need to get into politics to be able to shape our destiny. And this is the reason why I ventured into politics. And then since then, I rose from the ranks of being a party militant, you know, to the first spokesperson of the party. And then later I became the deputy secretary general of the Gambia Action Party. And the Gambia Action Party was registered in 2019, immediately after the political impasse. That is when GDC was registered, and then Gambia Action Party registered in 2019. That's the 10th political party registered in this country.
Okay.
So we've been into a lot of programming. We've been a lot of bringing the agenda of the party to the Gambian people, so that they can understand what actually we're trying to do to succeed the present government. And this is the endeavor that we've been doing since. And Alhagie M. Bayo came into politics to ensure serve as an exemplary leadership, you know, for the remaining youth folk in the country, and to be able to understand that youth political empowerment is very, very important. And as a result, they will to see me. When they see me, they will see themselves. And for them also to understand that youths in this country need to actually take things in their own hands, because they cannot be sitting to say, I'm not part of politics, I don't want to be part of politics. And if you don't want to be if you don't want to be part of politics, people will decide on your behalf. And when they decide on your behalf, you have no right to ask what did they decide on your behalf. So what if we are a part of the decision making strata or the decision making body, you'll be able to make influence, so that at least whatever that favors you or favors your category of people in the country, it can work.
All right, we came to realize that Bayo Alhagie is a young person, is a youth in this country who don't want people to make decisions on his behalf. That is why Bayo Alhagie, you know, venture into politics.
Yeah.
But can we know where Bayo Alhagie was born,
Okay. Okay.
which school did you attended in the Gambia and outside the country? And all of that.
I am parent
Okay.
of Khadija to Jabi and then Mohammed Lamin Bayo, all the way from Wuli Pasamas.
Okay.
I know you don't know Wuli Pasamas.
No, I don't know.
But Wuli Pasamas is found around Fatoto. I think the difference between Fatoto and Wuli Pasamas is just the River Gambia.
Okay.
The moment you cross from Fatoto, you are in Wuli East, and that Wuli East. And that is where I'm from, and that's where my father from, and my other relatives are from. So schooling, my father actually was not residing in the Gambia.
Okay.
So when he was away with my mom, I do visit, and then when I do visit all the time, and there was a time that my father asked me to stay, so I stay in Freetown because that's where my father was doing businesses.
Okay.
He has a mobile diamond company there at the time. So I decided to stay and then school there for some time. And later when my mother was coming, then we came together. Okay. And then I pursue my education in Gambia College, the Gambia University, and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when did you start politics, and how did politics start?
Well, it all started during 2016. Because prior to 2016, I was a civil servant.
Okay.
I was in the educational sector. I worked for the educational sector for a couple of years, like 5 or 4 years before I actually left and joined politics. And when we saw the drive, for change, at the time 2016, when the coalition came and gave us all the hopes that they gave us, and then we realized that there is it's hard time for us to get into politics, so that at least we can be part of the decision making.
Decision makers, okay.
So if we are part of the decision makers, we'll be able to influence a lot of change, especially what the change that required or that was desired at the time. Because 2016 coalition came in to inspire that change. Although later something happened that was different, but again our hope was geared towards having that change, and that is the reason why I made up my mind. And that forms the basis of my being into politics. Because actually I did not want to descend myself to be a politician that always follow people and then maybe organizing meetings or carrying chairs or driving people one way or the other. I said if I'm going to be into politics, I have to be in that decision table. And this is the reason why I joined politics, and I was happy because when I joined Gambia Action Party at the time, we were few. In fact, we formed the basis of the party. So
sorry. What was Gambia? GAP was the first political party you joined.
Yeah, since then. Since I joined GAP, I have not joined any political parties. Although there were rumors last year, or even prior to the 2021 presidential election, that I wanted to join NPP, but I said no. I'm not that kind of a politician that just move from one political party to another. Destiny is something that you need to shape yourself. So you cannot say when there is lucration or there is lucrative measures in a political party, you move from your party and transit another party like we see other politicians do. So I decided to say no to that until maybe when it is necessary. But for now, I don't think it is necessary because I have a party that I believe in. I believe in the agenda that we are selling to the Gambian people. I think someday we will make it. And so this brought up the entire idea for me to join into politics. But I was lucky. I rose from the ranks of being a party militant all the way now to a deputy secretary general, alhamdulillah. And then today, many people know me in the political space, and I also serve as I also double as the head of administration of the Inter-Party Committee. And those who know the Inter-Party Committee knows what I'm talking about. It's the governing body of all political parties registered in the Gambia. It's called the IPC, and I'm also the head of administration of that very organization. So I think I have made a lot of improvement in my political career, and I hope I'll be able to break through.
But why GAP? Why not other political parties? Why not you join UDP or you join MPP or other political? Why do you have to form your own political party?
Well, I believe in the agenda. And then I believe also in Gambian politics. When you join political parties, that you are of just a militant. You don't get that relevance. You have not valued that much. But when you are from a political party that you hold a key decision-making position, And when you transit into another political parties, they give you relevance. Like, for example, I'll give you a scenario of the cases of Mamadou Sabali. When he was in UDP, he was the campaign manager. At the end of the day, when he left UDP, today is the special advisor to the president. So I didn't Mamadou was just a militant. He will not be given that preference. And I can also tell you, Sidin Jai, when he left the APRC, he was the last minister that was informed by state at the time. You know, so when he joined NPP, today is what the deputy Speaker of the House. So we have series of portfolios where people transit from one political party to another. But when they hold key positions, it becomes so significant for those political parties to give them relevance. So this was the reason why I decided not to join political parties, not to move from GAP at that time to another political party, because I wanted to get that relevance. And because the second thing also, I believe in the party's agenda than any other political party. Of course, we've been having coalitions, we've been having alliances. For example, I personally and my Secretary General convinced the entire executive members of the Gambia Action Party to support Talib. I was part of the Talib campaign, the Japale Talib movement. I was the Secretary General of the Talib movement, Japale Talib movement, until we ensured that he was there. So it's not like we are isolating the idea of not joining political parties, but again, for me to move or to transit from my own political party to another one, that is where it becomes key condition for me to make. But otherwise, I think we've been also partner with GDC. We also partner with NPP in the 2021 presidential elections, and all that. All those things putting me, molding me together, giving me more experience, especially the 2021 presidential election, when I went throughout the tour, the campaign, and all those stuffs. I think I've been able to get a lot of experience when it comes to campaign and political campaigning, political financing, you know, and some of the laws also. Because we are part at the level of the interparty, we are also part of the members that actually we are reviewing the electoral laws. That is the electoral bill 2020. So we had a lot of experience on what talks about political governance, what talks about the general overall governance architecture, what talks about the government, what talks about individual political parties, how do you govern your own people. So that experience had built me so much to get me to this point.
Okay, before we come to the government, before we come to our governance system in the country, let's talk about the party itself. You were talking about the agendas of the party that inspired you more to stay in the party. Take us through your agendas. What are some of the agendas of the party?
Yes, when you talk about agenda, I think agenda in the political space can be unique. Like you have, every political party has an agenda.
Exactly.
And they can be interwoven. What I mean by interwoven is like they can see each other.
Yeah, sure.
They can complement also each other. It cannot be a distinct values that you have in your party that other political parties don't have. Because people even do say the PDYs have distinct values that other political parties don't. But what I'm saying is, I always contest the idea that PDYs, although it's a socialist political gathering, you know, a political institution, but again, despite them being socialist, you know, there are certain instruments in their agenda that they have that also other political parties have. So it's not like the party, the agenda that we have is distinct, that is different from other political parties' agenda. But again, the implementation, I think that is where the difference comes up. Because you might say, let us all go to Banjul and gather there. I will say, okay, I'll use the Hatin-Badin Highway. You will say, no, I'm not going to use the Hatin-Badin Highway, but I'm going to use the Tabokoto Highway going to Westfield. You know, so people have different approach. But what is important is how can we get there?
Exactly.
How can we get to Banjul? That's the agenda. So the agenda getting to Banjul is what is prominent. But again, how do you get there? It's not prominent enough. So that is what we believe. So maybe in our own approach, maybe we have better shortcuts. What I mean by better shortcuts that can also deliver quickly than others who have other agendas that the manner in which they are going to implement that agenda is going to take them long time before they implement. So I think this is what I believe, that the way we crafted our agenda, coming to educational policy, coming to health policy, going to how to consolidate the socio-economic development, you know, and any other policy that the Gambia Action Party has might be the same as the UDP. But again, the approach, how we're approaching the agenda could be the different. So this is the reason why I still stay put to the agenda that we have. You know, I still connected to the Gambia Action Party agenda because I believe in the approach.
So how do you intend to approach these agendas?
Well, the approach is sometimes we looked at how do you get the capacity.
Okay.
You understand? For example, if we are in government, we're going to have what we call a distinct governing council.
Okay.
And that governing council, it is not merely the cabinet. It is not merely just merely the president's cabinet. You know, like for example, in traditional governance system in the Gambia, you have what we call the president and his cabinet, and that's called the executive arm of government. You know, now in that cabinet, that's where they bring issues of national interest. You understand? Now the decision-making body to take actions on any issues they brought to government or they brought to cabinet is by the president. So the function of the president, it is to ensure whatever it is brought to cabinet, it takes action on it. Okay. Now, when you have a governing council, you have a different approach. They are a body. They could not necessarily be technocrat. They could be identified body of people who have adverse experience on governance issues. So those people will be set aside to look at critical matters of state. Now, if even the president say, like for example, let's have an example of one issue of states. Like for example, distribution of state resources.
Okay.
How do we distribute state resources? How do we ensure that the taxpayers, their money, their wealth, or the sovereign wealth, it is going back to them. It is changed into services. You understand? Because what we inherit in Gambia is the taxpayers' money. The state resources are not evenly distributed because we realize that the issue of corruption is escalating. So there are certain people who group themselves to benefit from the state resources rather than the Gambian people. You understand? So the governing council will act as an intermediary between the government, the cabinet, the president, and the state. Okay. So they will have a decision that the president cannot deny. Okay. If even the president want to deny, they will force him to ensure that he see the plight of the people. So even it comes to the interest-based issues, that's where the president has vested interest. He will not be able to succeed in those vested interests because he has a particular council that is actually looking into the state of affairs. So this is where this is just an example I'm giving about the approach. And
I am glad you took an example out of corruption because corruption is, in fact, Gambia is corrupt.
Yeah.
The system is corrupt.
Yeah.
People, I'm sorry to use this word, but people themselves are corrupt.
Yeah.
So I am happy you took an example.
And corruption, I think corruption, that is why when you go to China, if you are found of any malpractices, like corrupt malpractices, you are killed.
Yeah.
They don't entertain it. In other countries, they might not kill you, but you suffer a long time jail or detention. At the end of the day, also, whatever you take from the coffers, you bring it back. I don't know wherever you take it for. Other countries like Sierra Leone, where they have the Anti-Corruption Commission done, for them, I think just recently I was following a story where someone who was working for the GRA, I think is the finance manager of GRA. Like for example, they have their own GRA too, where you know what GRA means. It's the revenue authority of any state. And as a finance manager, he was able to embezzle a lot of funds. So for him, I think he bought some few sophisticated properties in the country. So he traveled. So later, when the investigation was going, he was found wanting, and the Anti-Corruption Commission were able to seize those properties. And now they are trying to auction those properties for like $500 million each property. If you see those properties, you say, no, Africans are really wicked. How can you alone, as a finance manager, embezzle that amount of fund?
Exactly.
That money should have been set aside for educational opportunities.
Exactly.
For the youths, for women, empowerment fund,
in fact.
for health. Infrastructure. You understand? But how can you alone take that money? And now even the government, even the Anti-Corruption Commission is trying to auction. That's not even the value of the property, but auction $500,000, which is $500,000. So you realize that people are really wicked. When you come to our own context in Gambia, these are things that are happening. People say, look at GRA workers. You go to GRA today. If you see the way those who work in GRA, You see the houses that is sleeping.
Exactly.
You can tell clearly that their salary cannot build these houses. Let's come to the executive. People who are ministers, people who have relevance in government, we see where they sleep. We see the kind of vehicles they drive. We see the kind of families they are building.
The allowances, the traveling,
and all those stuff. So you realize there is partiality in the state wealth. And be mindful, all monies that are coming to this country, either been by grant, whether been by loan, whether been by taxation, it is for the Gambian people.
Exactly.
This is for the Gambian people. You know, sometimes it worries me when I see our President Barrow, sit in the state television and say the national audit comes up with a report, and the report is merely based on opinion. So where does the president does not have the intellect of judging between what is an opinion and what is fact? Because what do you know about reports? Reports are facts.
Facts, exactly.
If they say I am embezzled, if I have get into any forms of corruption or malpractices, they found out that actually I was into it.
Exactly.
So if they bring that kind of report to you, they said Bayo is found wanting, is given $1 million, to purchase a vehicle, and at the end of the day, he bought a vehicle that is less than $300,000. Where is the $700,000? Is that not fact? It's fact. Yeah, because they went to the dealer where Bayo bought the vehicle. The dealer told them Bayo bought this vehicle for $300,000.
Exactly.
So receipts we are given, they were tendered, and they give you a government white paper at the end of the day, only to see and say for you it's just an opinion until those people are sent to court, they are proving otherwise. Sometimes we don't need to go to court to prove these things.
Yeah,
because there is an institution, exactly, there is an institution responsible, which is the national audit. And we also see what happened recently around the national audit.
Yeah, sure.
The Director General for the National Audit was removed unlawfully.
Exactly, unlawfully.
Yeah,
so unlawfully.
Because
nothing has been done about
exactly, I mean, because we had that because he has persistently talking about auditing GRA, and because of GRA, they don't want even the president doesn't want GRA to be touched.
But why? I keep on asking myself this question: why our people or our lawmakers don't want to be held accountable? Why?
Well, at the National Assembly we have
this is the question that keeps on rolling on my head. Why they don't want to, even the president don't want to be held accountable?
Yes, because the president said it clearly that he's not going to take anybody to court as long as corruption is concerned.
I cannot understand.
So if you say,
do you think that is right?
Of course it's not right. That is the reason why we are saying we want a government different from Barrow's government. Barometrics. We don't want barometrics anymore, because we've seen what Barrow has brought to us. Although he's bragging of ushering an indispensable, democracy, that we some of us who know what democracy is, we not even get close to what democracy is, because as a Democrat, you cannot try to influence the people of going for a third term.
Exactly. Yeah, sure.
If you say you are the reason why democracy is in the Gambia, because I think he lose the view of what had happened during Jawara's time, because I could not say that was dictatorial. Jawara's time was democracy. People do things on their own. They will leverage on the laws of the Gambia. You understand? So there's nothing dictatorial during Jawara. But anyway, if you say he's the one who ushered in democracy, then what is your ambition about that term? Because all democratic nations have term limits. Sure. And even within the context of the law, that we do not have term limit because of the kind of scenario we have in building our constitution, especially the draft constitution, But again, your morality, this is where I always come. There's morality and the context of the law. When you talk about context of the law, it is what the law has provided for. We can respect it, fine. But again, your morality, what question does it raise?
On you.
I am the one who ushered in democracy, and I am vying for third term. Your morality should tell you it is not moral at all. It is not moral at all. So you should have stepped down. This is what I have a lot of friends in the NPP camp. I have a lot of friends. There are few people in the NPP camp that are having higher positions that I don't know. From their campaign manager, Cham, Sidinjai, Sekuba Deputy Administrative Secretary, that is the National Assembly for Basse, CDCA, administrative secretary. Demba they call him. May I call him Demba Sabali? Some call him Dr. Sabali.
Dr.
I don't call him
Sabali,
Dr.
yeah.
Sabali. I call him Demba Sabali.
Okay.
Yes. So those are people that I know. In fact, Sabali, I know him before he get to NPP. When he was at GDC, he was the national chairman for the GDC at the time. We used to meet together when we first formed the Coalition for Progress at the time before 2021 elections. Before he finally dive in. So I know all these people. You understand? So why can't he transfer power to somebody else? Is he the only competent person in the NPP? In fact, the reason he came to give the Gambian people was his party is young, his party is this, his party is that, so they cannot afford to leave that position. Somebody else coming to take it up, the party might scramble, the party might have some gaps, the party might suffer some stuff. I don't understand. Those are not reasons.
But I had somebody here from MPP. I was asking the same question, but the guy was saying, no, there is no competent people in MPP. So maybe later they might have some competent people. But as of now, Bayo is the only competent person.
How can you say that? That's an insult. That's a complete insult. Yeah. Even Bayo himself did not say that. No, Bayo did not say there is no competent person. Bayo said his party is young. Yeah. So for him to leave that position for now. Because there are a lot of scrambling. Ruling parties are very difficult to manage. Sure. Because everybody wants to be there. Everybody wants to be there. So there are people who are even competent. There are people who are not even also competent. Competent, exactly. But I believe there are people who are competent. You understand? But again, when it comes to winnable candidate within the NPP, I think that is what is lacking. Okay. But they can have a secretary general. They can have a party leader who is competent. But maybe a winnable candidate, like when the margin that Bayo is going to give, maybe there's nobody who can match that in the NPP. Okay. You understand? Because already Bayo has already built that familiarity within the Gambian people. He has the state resources to use. You understand? For example, if he steps down to another person taking that position, where is he going to have the state resources from? Question. That's the question. So which vehicles are they going to use? Because the NPP vehicles are not going to be, they are not adequate enough for the campaign. Because we saw what happened in 2021. Exactly. Not only NPP vehicles that we saw. We saw ministers with their vehicles going to campaign. Ministers with their vehicles, and those vehicles are not assigned to them for campaigning. Exactly. Those are state resources. Exactly. They should be used for all state functions. But we've seen them utilizing this one. And also the funding. Where does the funds come from? Just recently, I had a $50 million a women trust fund, or from a women empowerment fund for the NPP camp. I cannot even believe. Why not you have a 50 million trust fund, 50 million women empowerment fund for Gambian women? And even the fund that is located when the president is going to meet the tour, it's a huge amount of money. Yeah. In fact, it has been reviewed. Yeah. Last session of the National Assembly, it has been reviewed. An increment was made. An increment was made. Or more than 50% increment was made. So in fact, this is one of the approaches we are saying. Okay. Me, I'm a fan of even boycotting that particular provisions from the Constitution. Section 200 for me, it is invalid in our society. Sure. The president should not have a specific period to visit his people, to have a tete-a-tete with his people, to have a discussion with his people. The president should not have a specific period. A president should be working every day. Sure. We've seen other presidents in the sub-region, how did they do? Ibrahima Traoré doesn't have that time. Ibrahima Traoré of Burkina Faso move day by day and sees people day by day. Exactly. You need to know your problem. You don't even need convoy to travel. You have your security guards, you have your technicians or your ministers, so-called ministers. Go. I know. Go and meet the Gambian people and know how they are faring. Exactly. But you cannot just say you sit and wait until when a particular period of time comes, you say the Constitution has given me the powers to go around and meet the people, and a lot of fund is set aside for that. And now the saddest part, I'm sorry, the saddest part is what exactly. The purpose of that talk. I was at Kerfatu, and this is what we talked about, the Grand Bantam of the Kerfatu. Exactly. I'm frequent there always. Okay. So we talked about these issues of the impact and what is the purpose of the entire tour, because we've now seen the purpose of the entire tour has been defeated. You understand what I mean? It is not actually serving its purpose any longer. It is not merely to meet the people to know their constraints, but now it has been turned into what? A political campaign. Exactly. I know. Who is the president to tell the Gambian people for them not to appreciate his work that he's doing for them? When he went to Badibu, that's what he said. Before you come and say, I don't have hospitals, I don't have good roads, why don't you talk about the ones that I've already done?
Exactly.
That is not supposed to happen.
Exactly.
So these kind of issues are issues that are very, very, very integral in our society. So President Bayo, for me, when GAP is in government, we are not going to tolerate that clause. We are going to repeal that clause immediately from the Constitution. That fund that is set aside for that exercise will be reverted. We are either going to have it as a trust fund for women empowerment program, or trust fund for youth empowerment program, or trust fund for disability program. Any other program we feel it is important in the country, we can do it for it. But a president using all that money, at the end of the day, come back, we the Gambian people do not even have a report. I talked about this issue of reporting at Kefatu, and that is it. The government cannot exercise the Meet the Gambian People tour, conclude it, come back home, sit at cabinet without telling the Gambian people what were the dividends.
There should be a feedback to the people.
What actually happened? What do we need as a nation? Because it's a fact-finding mission. That's how it should be.
Sure.
It's a fact-finding mission to know the realities in the ground, on the ground rather. You understand? So when you come back, tax your minister, because each minister was part of it. Because ministers will talk on the areas of their interventions.
Exactly.
Like, for example, if you are the Minister of Agriculture, Sabali,
yeah.
He will talk on behalf of his ministry and what the ministry has for the Gambian people. So when you come, give a feedback, write a report to the president through the secretary to cabinet. You know, let let the government spokesperson, Sankare, air it. Or either, if the government spokesperson cannot air it, the Ministry of Information, Dr. Sise, can air it.
So he's very good at talking.
Yeah, he's my Kodomalum. So,
in fact, sometimes I keep on asking, is he the spokesperson? I keep on asking, yeah.
He's my big brother. I know him way before he get into MPP. So when he was building up the CA at the time, we used to meet. At Likas, Senegambia, we used to meet there, and we talked about the ideas, how the GAP comes into existence, so that you can have a view or how to come up with the strategies to be able to register CA, Citizens Alliance. So I can tell you. So actually,
and you don't want to talk about him?
That's why I made mention of him. Well, I made mention of him. Why not the government give that report or pass that report through the Ministry of Information? And doctor can always go, because he is always at coffee time. Peter Gomez is all Kerfatu in all these medias and GRTS. So like it can be an aid, so that Gambians will actually have a first-hand information on how the tour went, because we want to know, not only to see and watch it on GRTS. Watch it on QTV. That is not enough. We need policies. Because what all these people are saying is just verbal. There is nothing. So now what they say should be translated into what could be called policies.
Exactly.
So what is the policy of the constraint of the Gambian people on the economic situation of the country? Or what is the policy of the Gambian people on agriculture? They should tell us. Okay, now if you know the constraints, what are you going to do towards those constraints? What mechanism do you put in place to address the situation? We don't know anything. And only the president will tell us in the rally, because I call it rally. Me, I don't call it fact-finding mission. I call it rally, because you see anybody talking. People talk, give their constraints. At the end of the day, say, okay, noted. When we go, I will sit in the cabinet, we review, and up to now, since then to now, we've not seen a single implementation from the constraint those people highlighted. We've not seen.
Yeah, sure.
You know, because people who speak, in fact, what they do is they choose people who speak. If they know that you are very critical, you are very controversial, they don't allow you to speak, because you know when you talk, you're going to talk things that are going to be against. They're going to have difficulty in addressing your issue. So they give it to people who have less ideas on what governance is. You know, that's why I never even tried to say, okay, let me even participate in those, because they were in KMC. I was in KM. If I like, I can also be in my own village, and I will participate. But I will not want to, because they don't even give me the platform. They will not, because they always say the National Assembly member. I'm not the National Assembly. National Assembly member is PDYS. I think it's recently now the the Secretary General Swaibu Toure.
Okay.
I think Halifa Sallah has after the Congress, Halifa Sallah is now no more the Secretary General. Is now the Secretary General Swaibu Sisi. Is my National Assembly member for Wuli East. So he's the only one that has that facility to talk. But some of us will not talk. So people who they even choose are people that they feel they are comfortable with. Yeah. Those are people that they can always ask, okay, you talk. And when you are talking, they also give them guidelines. Talk based on this and this and this. That's why when he went to Salikenya, the people of Salikenya, I don't know what the National Assembly member told them, that don't attend the meeting. He was very angry. Bayo was very angry. And what he told them is like, it's the deputy who built this roads here that's telling you not to come and attend meetings. Is it one who built the hospitals that tells you not to come and attend meetings? If the deputy has the powers. But what President Bayo failed to understand is, whatever President Bayo is doing today, I don't know whether he knows that, but I don't know whether people tells him that. But me, I'm going to tell him always in my platform, and anytime I have a platform, that's what I say. It is not by the powers of President Bayo. President Bayo was in this country for many years. Nobody knows who President Bayo was that much.
Sure.
Although those who are that has business with him in terms of land issues, rental problems, those are the ones that know him. But apart from that, nobody knows him. What significant improved development has he ushered in this country prior to being a president? So let him understand that all the things he's doing today, that he's bragging, Mama definitely, I'm the one who do this, I'm the one who do this. He's not within his powers.
That is what Lansong Konke says.
Exactly, and he's right. He's not within his powers. Let him understand that those things that he's doing today is because of he's the president of state. And that liberty is given to him by the Gambian people. Okay. So if anything that he's doing for the Gambian people, let him don't brag about it. Because he's there for that. He's elected for that. If he doesn't want to do it, let him push aside. Somebody else can do it. How many presidential aspirants we have for 2020, 2021? Was there 6? He was there. Dabo was there. Esafal was there. GDC Mama Kande was there. His soul rest in peace, who just passed away. The leader of NUP, National Unity Party, Alhagie, was also there. And who else? There were 6 in number. And Halifa Sallah. So if he thinks that what he's doing is not doing it for the Gambian people, it's from his pocket, let him just push aside. Let him just shift aside. Halifa Sallah or any other person can come and do it and appreciate the Gambian people. Go for the third term. And come and appreciate the Gambian people. The third term bid, I think, is something that we all has been debating in the media. For us, we don't look at the constitutionality of the provision. We all know right now we don't have a constitution in the Gambia. Exactly. The constitution we have in the Gambia is still the 1997 constitution or with lot of amendment. Yeah. In fact, that's what it is, as a lot of amendment. Or why do we have all these amendments? Some clauses were repealed, some clauses were amended. It's because of it's not fit for purpose. It's not fit for the recent time. Exactly. It was drafted, the 1997 constitution came in at a time when people have vested interest. We saw what happened in the 2022 regime of President Jammeh in this country. You understand? So it happened at a time people make conveniency of the laws. But when the coalition came in 2016, these were part of the reforms that they promised. That we're going to have a constitution different from the 1997. That is a succession. $112 million was crafted. And that money was set aside for constitutional building. The money was spent. I don't know how it was spent, whether it was spent judiciously or not. But again, we had a draft.
Yeah, sure.
We had a draft in 2016 to 2017. When the draft was done, I think the commission took it around the country to familiarize it with the Gambian people, so that actually they will know what they drafted for. Although at the time when I looked at the constitution, I looked at that of the Kenyan, it was like a kind of a borrowed constitution. But again, it doesn't matter. Constitution cannot be independent. Sure. Constitution has to come from different places. It has to look at references of other constitutions and make a good constitution. There is no constitution in the world that is perfect. It has flaws. We all know that. But again, if we come to terms to agree that we have a 2020 draft, you understand, as a constitution in the making, our lawmakers didn't accept it. They voted it out based on political lines.
Exactly.
Because that's what I looked at.
This National Assembly. Is GAP looking at National Assembly? National Assembly is more of politics.
Yeah, it's politics. Yeah. Because you look at the person who brought you into the National Assembly. is your party.
Yeah, exactly.
So you cannot do anything against your party.
Do you think that is right?
No, it's not right. That is not what we call representative democracy.
So is GAB looking into that?
Of course, we're looking at always. We have report on these issues. We have policies on these issues. But there's nothing we can do.
Okay.
There's not. We have limited. The only thing is just the advocacy aspect. We talk about it. Governments looked at it. Sometimes they give deaf ears to it. But again, I don't blame government.
So I'm sorry. Hold on. So if the Gambian people put you into power, are you really going to do something about that? The National Assembly with politics and all of that?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. What we need to understand is the National Assembly is a representative power. You understand? Nobody is there that is not there by the will of the people. President Barrow has only 5 people that he nominated by the powers he vested in him as a president. Okay, that he can choose whoever he want to put there. But the rest are all there by the basis of the Gambian people's decision. You understand? So if I am from Busumbala constituency, I represent more than 5,000, 6,000 voters. You understand? I sit in the National Assembly and make decisions or take decisions that align with my political party. It means we have defeated the purpose of being in the National Assembly.
And you've disappointed
your people.
Okay.
Because what we talk about is when the National Assembly, before they even get into the constitution, the draft constitution, to vote the draft constitution, what they could have done was to report to their people.
Exactly. They should go back to it.
When the commission came, what did you understand about this constitution? Or if they don't have an understanding, put them to understanding that these are the contested clauses, because the draft was not having issues all around. It has few peculiar issues, and those peculiar issues, one of them is the term limit. You understand? And some will also say the religions aspect of the Christianity, the Muslims, and all those things. And also we talk about the states citizenship. Who is a Gambian, who is not a Gambian, all those stuff. Because what we have presently have in 1997 Constitution is like it's not appropriate, because you cannot have a child born in the Gambia by foreign parent and that child is not a Gambian. It is actually it is void. To me, it's void, because even in America today, if you are not a Gambian, you are not an American, your husband is not an American, but if you happen to be in America and you have a child there today, that child is American.
Sure.
He's given a passport. So why in the Gambia? So we are looking at all those issues. So I think these are the contested areas where we actually needed to define. So the Gambian people, actually, we are looking for, the Gambian people, the National Assembly, actually, we are looking on party lines. Exactly. What is the desire of the president? What is the desire of the main opposition? These were the 2 issues: the main opposition and the NPP leading coalition. So their vested interest is what on the term limit. What are they? Did President Barrow want term limit? Did Hussein Dabo and his people, that is the UDP, did they want term limit? So this is what brought about the issue. So everybody's was participating in a party line.
Party line, exactly.
So that's what actually killed the constitution. And later it was rebranded, because the law is saying if the constitution is rejected at one time, if you want to reintroduce the constitution into the assembly, it has to go a series of processes. One of the processes is to dissect it and look at the areas that were flaws, and then empower those areas and bring back the draft constitution. And that's what they do. That's why we have the 2020 draft and the 2024 draft. Okay, when the 2024 draft came, and UDP said it very clearly that even one single sentence is changed from the 2020 draft, they will not accept it. And this is what also happened. This also killed the constitution.
The constitution, exactly.
So we as a nation, we do not even have the hope anymore. I was part of the preliminary talks of the constitution at the time when we used to have this guy Jonathan Goodluck, the former president of Nigeria. We used to have these talks at the International Conference Center, the OIC Secretariat. So we've seen, and only going to the point of even going to Nigeria, just to settle the differences of the constitution. But at the end of the day, Jonathan Goodluck could not make headway. Now we also see we also saw the contribution of
Should we even go to that far?
Ibn Chambers.
Should we even
we don't have to. And this is what I said in one of our gatherings during those talks at the OIC. Ahmad Ba was there. Many people were there. I said it. I said we are all hiding behind the national interest, but we don't have the national interest. Anybody who takes up a phone, a mic, and start talking, he will say the Gambian interest, what we're looking at. But none of us are looking at the Gambian interest, because if we are looking at the Gambian interest, we don't even need to bring a foreign intervention. What is Jonathan Goodluck doing in the Gambia? Fostering political unity. Are we not enough to bring unity among ourselves?
And we're talking about our constitution.
Yeah.
The constitution is about to guide us.
Exactly.
Us, the citizens.
Somebody else has to come all the way from Nigeria to come and convince us to understand the importance of a constitution.
It doesn't want it.
I said that in the National Assembly, and many of them got angry. They got angry. They said, I should not say that. I should not do this. I said that is the reality. If we really love our nation, we should have started this way before Jonathan Goodluck has this information. Let us start it. Let Gambian people know that our political party leaders are doing something. You go to the National Assembly, everybody is sitting on party lines. That's not supposed to happen when they were voted in by the Gambian people. It's MPP who put them there. No. They only choose them as candidate. It's UDP who put them there. No, they only were choosing as candidate. It's the Gambian people, the residents, that choose them to be there. So when you speak for the interests of the Gambian people. This is the problem we have with in our National Assembly.
They all having multi-million cars.
Now what they focus is on, that's what I'm telling you. Exactly, that's what they focus. Now what happens is like every Tom and Dick sit around the corner and increase their salaries. The ministers also went ahead and increase their salaries.
Yeah, I'm telling
the National Assembly now are bringing all lucrative forms of allowances. Wardrobe allowances. Even marching from the assembly coming outside is an allowance. You know, so it's like telling us that we are not a serious nation, because things that happen in the Gambia, they can only happen in this country. In other countries, I don't say countries are not corrupt. I don't say that, but what happens here in terms of the manner in which we govern our people, it's the worst in the sub-region. Just sometimes I even wonder when I see ministers going out parading themselves, talking nice things about this country. It doesn't want it, because we are not seeing that the dividend is not here. We are not seeing what it's paying, because if it's paying any positive dividend, the Gambian people will feel it. We feel it. We are talking about the country is hard. Everybody is saying the country is hard, and it's the reality. President Barrow will just wake up one day and say, who told you that the Gambia is hard?
Yeah, and Modu Sabali will be sitting at the corner and saying the youths are happy. Are we happy? Are you happy?
He doesn't even know what happiness is. And it is, I think these people, they have their own definitions of words. Because that's what I understand. Because if you know what happiness is, you cannot align happiness to youth in this country.
Yeah, I was like, that was not a joke. I was like,
a youth who is happy will not be taking the back way to travel in a route that is very dangerous for his life. If these youth are taking this route, it's because they are out of frustration.
Exactly.
They feel the country they are cannot make them who they can be. The opportunities are limited, and it is factored for few people.
Sure.
So not everybody can have access to those opportunities. So this is the reason why they are taking the back way. So it doesn't matter whether they leave to return or they don't come back. It doesn't matter, but the initiative is just for them to go.
Survival of the fittest.
That's what happens. So if you sit in your corner because you are receiving a per diem, or because you are receiving a salary at the end of the month, because you are a special advisor to the president, you say the youth are happy. It's like you doesn't understand what happiness is.
Yeah. Somebody said, I want to laugh, but if I smile, Modu Sabali will think I am happy, whilst I am not. Somebody was saying in the comment section. Yes, that was a funny video, and the guy said, oh my God, I want to laugh, but if I smile, Modu Sabali will think we are happy, whilst we are not happy. So, thank you so much, Mr. Bayo.
Yes.
On our side.
Okay.
But before we wrap up the program, we just want you to give us your final advice to the Gambian people, and then
so it's not going to be a long one. It's just what geared towards the 2026 presidential election.
Yes, sir.
I think it's a key process that is about to take place, and this process, what I mean key, is a process that's going to define the Gambia in the next 5 years.
Okay.
So let us all know where we factored our votes. It's very peculiar, because Barrow in the next 5 years, it's like, we've started having Dubai in Gambia.
Yeah, Dubai.
And we will soon be having America. We will soon be having Singapore.
Let America be outside.
We will soon be having Singapore, In fact, Singapore is already. There's Singapore available already. Dr. Sister said Singapore when he was at coffee time last week.
Yes.
When Peter Gomez asked him, he said, which way did he come? You came in through Dubai? No, he said, no, I came in through Singapore. He said, where is Singapore? He said, Bruce.
So Gambia were there.
He said, which Singapore? He said, Bruce. I came with 3 Bruce. He said, okay, now we have Singapore too. He said, yes, we are. So soon we're having Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and all those Abu Dhabi, and all those places, So what I'm saying is, I'm just trying to insert jokes, but again, it's very serious. Then is sad.
Yeah,
we're at a cross junction right now. If we do not come together and empower the opposition to not only to remove Bayo, but to have a system change.
Exactly.
The system has to change, because the manner in which the system is trending is going to collapse this country. It's going to sink this country. These roads, the OIC things are building. These are not infrastructure. Let people travel and see what infrastructure is. Some of us who cannot even go far. Let's go to Dakar. If you know you cannot go far to Kenya, you cannot go to Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, you cannot go to South Africa, you cannot go to other countries in Nigeria, Abuja, you cannot go to those places, just go to Dakar here. You realize that the roads they are putting up, they are not even called infrastructure. Because that is what Barrow is looking at. Because of the little roads he makes in around those 2 ways, highways he makes in Brufut. They say Brufut is now Dubai. So let us take things serious. If we do not take this tragedy serious, it means we are going to loom this country in the next 5 years. So my advice to Gambians is, let's look around the opposition. Let us support the opposition. Let us ensure we have an opposition that is vibrant at the end of the day to win the election, to have a 610 change. Not only to remove Barrow, but to remove the entire system of the barometrics. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you so very much, Bayo Alhagie. We are so much grateful to have you here, and of course for the first time on my platform, and I know this is not going to be the last time to have you here. So we are so much grateful to have you here, Gambian people. Well, today that brought us the program, and until we come your way next Monday, do stay tuned with Atlantic TV, and more interesting programs is coming on your way. Thank you.
Atlantic fofu nonu naka professional anything li ngeen ñul ci walum xarañ ñom ñoo fi gëna ak quality professional standard recording studio mu fa fofu nonu bokay pour sen voice record ya xamne artist nga buga nga ñoo nga record lepang fa live band instrumental records la lepang fa mix ak master a lepp li nga sola danaka ñu ngi ubbi bes bu nekk bu len faté tamit am nañ sound system bu mag di Atlantic Sound International pour lepp li ngeen sola sen ciéti sen genté yi open events am na ci togu ak stage concert yamu ci lolu Atlantic TV ñu ngi fofu nonu naka pour sen live coverage video shooting la photo shoot manam printing ak lepp li nga soxla dal ci télévision di def ñu ngi leen ko defal yegal ñu tay su tanka di sey ci farato manam dendo farato juma bi mbite nga téléphone 3690787 3690787 pour Atlantic Media House lepp li ngeen soxla taxaw na tem